Hello, my name is David Toohey, and I am a technical sergeant in the United States Air Force. Been in the Air Force for about 18 and a half, just coming up on 19 years now. I am a aircraft hydraulic systems mechanic. Basically entails working on, in this case, in my career's case, cargo airplanes, the flight control systems, and a lot of the hydraulic systems on the airplane. It's a pretty demanding job. It's been a good job, and like I said, I've been there 19 and a half years. About 10 of those, I've been suffering with some lower back pain. Now, it started kind of small back in around 1997, and I started seeing doctors, and it was never really all that severe, so it would go away. As you can imagine, in the military, the job is fairly demanding. On top of the normal duties that we do in the military, there's also a very strong fitness component to our military careers, including fitness tests that we take twice a year that we're required to pass in order to maintain our careers. So there's lots of running involved, usually upwards of 3 to 5 miles a day, which was great. I liked running. My family and I were fairly active. We like to hike, we like to run together, we worked out a lot. My sons and I work out quite a bit, but over time that back pain got progressively worse. In 2009, I was in a car accident. I was rear-ended. I was sitting at a stoplight and rear-ended by a fairly large truck. It totaled my vehicle, and around that time the back pain started to get progressively worse. I found that the pain would radiate into my hip, it would shoot down my legs, it made it very difficult to walk, much less run, and obviously this is not good for a military career. So I began seeking help from the doctors, and originally the doctors really didn't know what to do with me. They took some x-rays, they noticed some minor compression of my spine, but I was constantly told that, well, we don't see anything here that could potentially cause the pain that you're complaining about. So they would give me some pain medication, send me on my way. I would continue running, continue working out, and the pain would get worse, and the pain would get worse. Eventually I was referred for physical therapy, and the physical therapist believed it may have been a muscular problem, specifically core muscles, deep abdominal muscles and hamstring muscles possibly being slightly tight. So what they had me do, they gave me a bunch of different stretches to do. They thought maybe I had some arch support problems, so I started wearing arch supports in my shoes, which really just kind of felt like rocks in my shoes. I was doing exercises to try to build and strengthen that core muscle. I was still running, and the pain was just getting progressively worse. Around 2010, it had gotten to the point where it was very difficult even just to walk. My back hurt pretty much 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Whether I was standing up, sitting down, or when I was laying down, I would wake up in the middle of the night with shooting pains down my legs. After that, the doctors, they referred me to an off-base orthopedic surgeon who recommended an MRI, and in the MRI he found that I have 3 discs in my lower spine that are bulging, one of which is actually herniated. And I was told that the only real course of action that I had at this point was to get spinal fusion surgery, which the doctors in the military really did not want to do because of the quality of life adjustment that it would take. One doctor even told me it would be so severe that I would not be able to tie my own shoes after the surgery was done. So we shied away from that, and meanwhile it just got worse. My fitness scores in the Air Force started to plummet. I wasn't able to really do anything that was impactful cardio-wise, so my workouts pretty much went away, and my weight started to come up, my fitness scores started to plummet, and it eventually got to the point where my career was in jeopardy. And at 18 and a half years in the Air Force, I was looking at potentially being kicked out of the Air Force for fitness, and losing my retirement and losing my career. It was frustrating. I felt like everything I did, no matter what I did, nothing was working. I started getting back injections from a pain management specialist who, on top of oral steroids and these back steroid injections, I was getting pain injections in my back, spinal blocks, stuff that just basically numbed my legs completely so I didn't feel the pain. Which sure, that made the pain go away, but meanwhile I'm gaining weight. I still can't really work out. Really didn't make the pain go away completely, and then the more I worked out, the worse it got, and so on and so forth, and it just seemed like a downward spiral. And that things just, I got to the point where I didn't feel like things were going to get better. Around this time I started talking to a friend, a coworker named Dustin Smith, who had mentioned that he had been seeing Dr. Tron, and so he referred me to Low Country Specific Chiropractic. And in August, early September of 2012, I made my first visit. I met Dr. Tron. He did some tests and some x-rays and found that I had a fairly severe subluxation in my neck and in my upper spine. And we thought that that may have been some of the culprit that was causing this pain to become so severe. So in the past 3 months or so, I've been coming 2 and at times 3 times a week, getting, you know, adjustments and treatments from Dr. Tron. And the pain has slowly but surely gone away. At this point now, after just 3 months, I no longer have the constant pain in my back. Now I've been able to start running again, been able to start working out. And if I work out or run a little bit too hard, then sure, there's a little bit of pain, but it goes away more and more with every visit. I no longer have the pain shooting down my leg, my foot's not going numb anymore. I've actually started losing weight, my fitness scores are finally starting to come back up. And so in just a matter of 3 months, with just you know, not very many treatments, I've already seen a tremendous difference. It's a night and day. The pain is actually, for the most part, gone. I've gotten back to being active again with my family. I'm actually running, you know, lightly with my older son who does a lot of running. I've been able to start riding my bicycle again. We've been hiking again. Whereas prior to coming here, my wife and I, we couldn't really plan to do anything that required any real amount of walking because the pain was so bad. At this point now, we've been able to start doing more. So I've been able to spend a lot more time with my family. My fitness is coming up. My career is no longer in jeopardy. And I honestly give all that credit to Low Country Specific Chiropractic and Dr. Tron and the work that we've done here.